Hi everyone, this is Rob and I'm working on the exercise number 7, which happens to deal with storyboards. And basically I've got storyboards working. Let me just run it real quick and show you. I've got a couple of issues that I'm still trying to work through, but it's basically operational. There is the navigational controller. I've got the buttons working, returns, return to roots, and so forth. All that's working. The one thing it's not working is that this should launch a web page, and I'm still kind of trying to work through why that's not. I've got something wrong somewhere, so I'm gradually getting to that one, but otherwise that is working. So a couple things about this. Let me hop over to the storyboard here and show you a couple things that I discovered that are a little different than in the book. So this is all fairly straightforward. Now, the one thing I did notice is that on this one, when you drag that navigation controller out, it puts a table view out here, and that can be a little bit strange. It took me a while to kind of figure out how to manage the table view, and what I ended up having to do was basically drop in from the objects. I ended up dropping in some table rows. Let me see if I can find the exact object that I dropped in there. Yeah, the table view cell. I ended up dropping that in, which gave me a few more rows. Then I was able to manage both the buttons and the image. When I was trying to put an image in and drag buttons over the top, it wouldn't let me do it. And that's something to do with the table control element. So by adding some table view cells into that, I think I added 2 or 3, I was able to get it to accept both the image and the buttons on top of the image. Although it was a little bit tricky, I had spent some time with that to finally kind of get that working. The other thing here is that you want to make sure that these are, you have a choice of either push or modal, and they didn't specify that very clearly in the book or the videos. It's actually those should be push elements as opposed to modal elements. And I think, and this is a push element here as well. So yeah, that's a push segue, and those are push elements there. Let me just verify that those are push elements as well, and they are. And then when you go to create the class, that's one of the other things I wanted to share with you, is that you want to make sure that your folder is highlighted before you go to the file, new, and then create the Objective-C class element, and then you can use that. Let me cancel that, and then you can create your own new class element up there that you're going to use throughout the project. So just a few little things that I found. Again, I'm still having a little bit of a challenge here in getting the web page element to show up correctly. I've been kind of struggling with that a little bit. I'm not quite sure where I'm going wrong, but let me just run this again, see if it's going to run this again. And like I said, that should be loading up a web page, and it's not, so I've obviously got something amiss. It was throwing one of the Sigbert errors, but I've worked through that, got that resolved, which basically, by the way, if it happens to throw that, what you can do is take a look at the element, the UI image view. In my case, it was the UI image view that was having a problem, and just make sure that the outlet was selected correctly. Let me try, maybe this might be my problem. Let's just try something here. We'll get rid of that view, and it's not going to let me do it. So I'll keep working on it, and I'll let you know if I can get this operational, but I think